Hey, we got Drew's Views here, and I'm back in the spot for a little Car Tuesday, reacting to them cartoons on a Tuesday. And today I'm cruising right along with Legend of Korra, Book 3. I'm up to Episode 10, Chapter 10, which is entitled Long Live the Queen. So it looks like Korra's old nemesis, new nemesis, really, from this season, the Earth Queen, is back as part of this episode. Makes sense based on what happened at the end of the last one, where Korra and Asami were kidnapped by, or taken into custody, I guess, by the Earth Queen's forces. They got Korra looking like something right out of Silence of the Lambs. So I guess she can't use her bending to get out of this. I'm sure she'll get out of it some way, though. We'll see. Actually, maybe it was somewhat fortuitous. Considering Zahir's cronies were about to get her. Otherwise, they do have Mako and Bolin in their custody. They have them kidnapped, so we'll see if they get out of that. But last episode, I enjoyed it quite a bit. It was the stakeout of Iowa to find out what Zahir's doing, and Korra confronted Zahir in the spiritual realm and learned about like basically what I've been wanting for a few episodes now. What's the deal with Zahir and his cronies? Why are they after Korra? What do they want to do? We still don't know exactly what they want to do when they get her, but we do know that they're part of this Order of the Red Lotus, a offshoot, I guess, or like a secret chapter of the Order of the White Lotus, which is secret anyway, kind of, but or it was back in the day at least. They have some different ideas. They're anarchists, basically. It seems like they want the world to be complete chaos. They do like what Korra did by leaving the spiritual realm open, but they want to go further, abolish all monarchies, all forms of government, and whatever. So I guess the Earth Queen's not gonna like that either. So maybe what happens here is that Zahir and them get Korra and Asami, or get them away from the Earth Queen, or maybe they convince the Earth Queen's forces to go against them. Those two groups are going to be at odds as well, so maybe that's how they escape. At least our team Avatar. We'll see. But yeah, still want to know what they plan to do with Korra when they get her. Zahir wouldn't tell her when she asked. He said she'll find out soon enough or something like that. And he was kind of stalling too because he knew the people were after. He knew where they were basically, and that's what led to the fight over at the hotel or whatever with Mako and Bolin. So yeah, like I said, really entertaining episode. I think Sue and Lin will be on their tail as well, so that should come into it in some way. And we'll see if there's anything to do with the rest of the Airbenders in this one, which they weren't in the last one at all. And then 2 episodes ago, they got their own episode, basically, Tenzin and family. So we'll see if it all comes together. I think there's 4 episodes left, including this one I'm about to do in the season here. So yeah, it's all coming to a head. I'm liking it. Let's get right into it. All right, I gotta say, I love that episode. Maybe one of my favorite car episodes ever. Zaire, it's kind of hard for me not to root for him a little bit, even though he's obviously the villain. But the whole anarchy thing too is it's kind of like a 13-year-old like idea of a 13-year-old's idea of like, oh, the world should be like this. But and it's just not really realistic to work. But it is kind of cool to see, or it's fun at least to see the monarchy getting taken down and all that. The people having some fun running through the streets, even though they're probably rioting, doing bad things. And Zaire is kind of a badass. Like the movie did to like airbend up over to eavesdrop was really cool. And it's very cool and calm. It's kind of he is like really the opposite of Unalaq from last season, who I didn't like as a villain. And this episode just had a ton of stuff I like. Obviously, the the title of the episode was an ironic one. Long live the queen. That's another dope thing. How he killed her. I mean, I'm almost kind of surprised. Like they usually don't have, at least in Avatar, the Avatar series, they didn't really. And it was maybe for a little bit younger audience. But they didn't really usually show killing, or they try to get out of it in every way possible when people were like dying or whatever. Even like the whole Jet storyline, when they referenced it directly at the end of the series, but like, is he dead, is he not? This, they basically showed it. I mean, she kind of fell down, so you didn't completely see it 100%, but yeah, I mean, he took that was a pretty dope airbending move, taking the breath out of someone. Yeah, and I liked that his team this time too. Like the little conversation that the two had with Bolin was funny, how they're playing along. I also like that Bolin didn't actually wasn't able to get out of there by metal bending. He just couldn't do it all of a sudden. That's good. More realistic. Asami is kind of like, people use the term Mary Sue a lot, which I don't usually like that term all that much. She kind of is that, I feel like, Mary Asami, but it doesn't bother me. Like, it's cool, like the shit she does too. Being able to like fight really well, fix stuff, it's a little easy, but I'm fine with it. And I like seeing her more in the episodes. She hasn't had that much to do really since the first. She had a lot to do the first season, not very much at all last season. Mostly just keeping things going with like the Future Industries plot line. This season a little bit more, but yeah, I'd like to see her getting a little more storylines as well, not just being, stepping in to save the day when they need it or whatever. But it's cool to see her and Korra together too, doing their own thing, even though it wasn't purposeful, obviously. But and even Lynn finding with the detective skills, like she said, finding them, bringing in. I don't know how they got Todrak there. Also, like, where was he anyway? Like, at home, if he was at home, like, I guess they can just pick him up on the dragon or whatever. Zuko coming in and talking to Korra. Yeah, we hadn't seen that, so hopefully he plays a big part in the last 3 episodes here. Yeah, I'm trying to think, was there anything else I didn't say that I liked about this? Yeah, just everything coming together nicely. I like the villains are competent, and like I said, they're getting me to root for them a little bit. I'm sure they'll do something by the next couple episodes that will put me off, but get me firmly on Team Korra again. But it is, yeah, it is an interesting setup, because Korra herself has always been very anti-authoritarian, basically, because, but and like, even though she is like an authority figure at this point, she's been against like this, against Sue initially, or rather Lynn initially in the first episode or whatever of the show, being the police chief and all that. They had to get together, being against the president, butting heads with him, obviously the whole thing with the Earth Queen, all these authority figures, her own parents father last season. So it's like, yeah, I could see from Seer's perspective, like, that he thinks, we still don't know exactly what he wants to do out there, but maybe he thinks he can sway her like that, because that's kind of her personality anyway. But is it also partially his fault to begin with? Because, or fault, whatever, but did he influence it from the beginning? Because he tried to kidnap her as a child, and that led to her getting more of a lockdown situation, led to her getting sequestered a little bit, not being able to go out as much, all that stuff, which you just find out the reason this book. But could that have led to her attitude about all this stuff to begin with? It's interesting to think about. Yeah. Anyway, very effusive about this one. Liked it a lot, as you just heard me say. Really excited to watch episode 11 next Card Tuesday. Do join me back for that one. Should be good. Do subscribe if you're not already. Leave some comments for me. Tell me your opinion, or some things I missed, or anything like that. And until next time, I'm up out of here. Peace.
I find these terms agreeable.